What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is part 2 where I'm going to be installing all of the cooling parts that I showed you in the last video. If you missed that video, definitely check it out. I'll link in the description or put it somewhere up here in the video. But yeah, don't need to do a lot of explaining. If you saw that video, we're just installing everything today. Let me show you what I have so far. All right, so it clearly looks like a huge mess in here. I'm still kind of cleaning things up, but we did get a couple of things installed. This cooling hose right here is replaced. This kind of weird looking one is replaced. And then back there, not any of these three, but the one underneath that kind of looks a little darker, that one has been replaced. And then I replaced the 2 O-rings that go in here on this hard line. I had it out, I cleaned it all up, and I replaced the O-rings. They looked really rough, so I'm glad I replaced them because I don't think they've ever been replaced. And yeah, so I'm pretty much at the point now where I think I could put the intake back on. It's going to be kind of challenging to kind of remember where all of this stuff goes and all of the vacuum lines. So I might just do a little time lapse and hopefully get it installed without too many problems. Alright, you guys just saw I was struggling to put the intake on, but I eventually did get it on. I got the throttle bodies installed, I have the oil filter housing installed, I have the alternator, the power steering pump, everything is tight. So now I have to do the water pump, I have to do the thermostat, and then we can get the radiator and electric cooling fan in here and really start to button this up. Alright, we're making pretty good progress. The thermostat housing and the thermostat is installed. The brand new Stewart water pump, which is supposed to be a higher flowing, more performance oriented water pump, is also installed. I have the belts installed and routed and everything, and so pretty much all that's left is the radiator, the fan, obviously, which is attached to the radiator, and the fan shroud. There are a couple coolant hoses that do route from the over here along the fan shroud to the coolant reservoir, so I'm going to try to bust that out before I lose too much daylight. I think I'm just going to set you guys up in a time lapse and see if I can't get this finished up. Alright, for you guys it is the very next clip, but for me it's actually been a couple of weeks. As you can see, I'm in my usual garage. Unfortunately, I did have a couple of problems when I was finishing up installing the last couple of parts on the E36, and it caused me to kind of be at the other garage that day a little later than I anticipated, and so I was kind of rushing to get everything done. I wanted to get the car done, out of the garage and home, and so I didn't really film any of that stuff. But the important part is the car is home, everything is installed, and I believe it runs a lot cooler than it did before. Unfortunately, I cannot provide you guys with 100% before and after, coolant temps. Unfortunately, I just didn't really think about it before doing all of this stuff, but since installing everything, I can tell you that the car idles at about 187 to 189 degrees. That's when the electric cooling fan kicks on, because of the lower coolant temp switch, the one on the side of the radiator. While I was driving at home, I did kind of watch the coolant temps as well when I initially finished installing everything, and it hovered around mid 180s to mid 190s, so I think that's pretty good. Not only that, but the most important thing is just the peace of mind of knowing that I don't have to worry about my cooling system exploding on me now. I think that is the biggest thing, because, you know, if I haven't said it a million times at this point, but the car is headed to the track. That's why I'm doing all of this stuff, is because I want to take the car out, I want to beat on it, I want to do what it's meant to do, I want to drive it, and I don't want to, you know, bring it home on a flatbed, hopefully, you know, knock on wood. But yeah, so hopefully, you know, that kind of helped you if you were planning on doing something similar to your E36. I know not every single part was like a how-to video, but at the very least, hopefully you got an idea for things you could replace, or, you know, if you weren't sure of things in the cooling system that you even had to replace, hopefully between the first video and this video you kind of have an idea of all of the stuff that needs to be addressed as far as the cooling system goes on these cars. Not only that, but similar to part one, every single part that I installed on my car will be down below in the description with all the part numbers and such. I picked up, I think, every single part minus the radiator and the lower coolant temp switch from Turner Motorsport. In fact, everything can be picked up on Turner Motorsport. The only reason I didn't buy everything from there is because a couple of the items weren't going to ship at the same time, and it was going to cause my whole order to be kind of back ordered until those other parts were available. But everything can be ordered from Turner Motorsport. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it wasn't the most fun type of video, but I tried to make it kind of cool to watch and informative at the same time, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. The immediate next couple of videos will be me walking you guys through how to wire up and install the electric cooling fan on an E36, you know, via my E36 that I installed it on. And then after that will be me walking you guys through how to replace your oil filter housing gasket. I decided to do that on my car while I had everything out and, you know, out of the way while I was in there, and I figured with all of that stuff out of the way, I could make a cool video kind of going over how to do it in your car in depth, so you know what you're looking for, and, you know, you can expect, or know what to expect rather, when you're in there doing it yourself. So those will be the next couple of videos, and then after that I do have some fun parts that I have planned to go on the car, so definitely consider subscribing so you don't miss that. Definitely comment down below if you like the video, if you kind of like this format, or if there's anything I should have done differently. Let me know if there's anything I could still do to kind of bulletproof my cooling system on my car, if maybe you've done it to your E36. And other than that, as usual, I appreciate you checking out today's video. Thank you for watching. As usual, consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and turning on post notifications. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers at the time of making this video, so trying to get there, trying to grow this channel, and, you know, can't do it without you guys. But again, thank you. I appreciate you guys checking it out, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.